If you have an ambivalent reaction to the announcement of a new Dumbo movie, we don't blame you. On one hand, it's a remake of the beloved Disney classic by the talented director Tim Burton. On the other hand, the original movie has some troubling elements that don't really stand the test of time. But the true story behind Dumbo is even more troubling than most people realize. Before we get into the disturbing real story behind Dumbo, be sure to hit the subscribe button for more videos from The Things. For a long time, elephants were a huge draw when it came to circuses, and it's easy to see why. Elephants are fascinating, intelligent creatures that most people never have a chance to see in the wild. But they need a lot of care and resources, and few circuses can commit to caring for them properly. In addition, the tricks that so delight audiences aren't natural elephant behavior by any means. In order to train elephants to do such things, they need to undergo things that most people would consider incredibly cruel. Even the famous Ringling Brothers in Barnum and Bailey Circus has vowed to phase out elephant acts because of public concerns. Elephants have complex social structures, and circus life and training is incredibly traumatic for them. And that was the case with the real elephant that Dumbo was based on. As fans of the classic Disney film know, the beloved baby elephant's real name is Jumbo Jr., and Dumbo is a cruel nickname given to him by his peers. There was once a real elephant named Jumbo, and he arrived at the London Zoo in 1865. During his time at the circus, he was hit with visitors who frequently enjoyed riding on this enormous elephant. Sadly, elephant riding still persists to this day, despite the fact that we know it's horrible for the health of elephants. Most people never question this because elephants are so big and strong, but they aren't designed to hold heavy weights on their backs. Carrying around humans and living in cramped zoo conditions meant that poor Jumbo suffered these intense pains during his relatively short life. Eventually, the zoo sold him to P.T. Barnum for use in the circus. In recent times, the bones of Jumbo have been examined and revealed how the years of stress had damaged him. Jumbo was only 24 years old when he passed away, but his bones showed painful wear and tear that would be expected from an elephant twice his age. And if you think about it, we see the same type of things happening with the animated elephants in the movie Dumbo, particularly with Mrs. Jumbo. She's separated from her baby, punished for displaying normal elephant behaviors, and kept in cramped conditions. Sadly, that's actually an incredibly accurate depiction of what life is like for the vast majority of elephants in captivity. The real Jumbo started out as a docile elephant, but soon became prone to violent rages, particularly in the evening. This is the reason why the zoo eventually considered him a liability and sold him to the circus instead. If the London Zoo lacked the resources to care for Jumbo properly, it's pretty baffling to expect that a circus would. According to witnesses during the day, Jumbo seemed calm and content, but when the sun went down, it was a different story. He would become possessed with violent rages and destroy anything that was in his path. During these fits, he would even harm himself, and at one point he broke off both of his husks. When they grew back, he would use the stone of his enclosure to grind them back down. It got so bad that his keeper, Matthew Scott, resorted to giving him whiskey to try to calm him down. Obviously, that's an unorthodox approach, and something we also see happen in the movie Dumbo. Yes, that was clearly made in a different time, when it was okay to show baby animals getting intoxicated in a Disney movie. Let's consider the fact that a fictional baby Jumbo is so distraught at being separated from his mother that he sobs hysterically and then accidentally gets drunk.
What would your mother think of you if she saw you crying like this?
But with the real-life Jumbo, his rages were written off with the excuse that he was going through maturity. It's not unusual for male elephants to become aggressive during this time. However, modern researchers disagree and add that if this was the case, Jumbo would have also become aggressive to his keepers, but this was not the case. Current scientists who have examined his remains believe there is a sad but simple solution to his nighttime rages. Elephants' teeth grow and fall out constantly, but if their teeth don't wear down properly, they won't fall out naturally. This means that the new tooth will be blocked, causing a terrible amount of pain. In addition to not being fed properly, Jumbo was fed tons of sweets and snacks by well-meaning patrons. Without the distractions provided by daylight hours, poor Jumbo was left alone with an excruciating pain in his mouth for which he found no release. Oh, and those fun circus trains that we see in the movie Dumbo? The real Jumbo met his end when he was struck by a locomotive. The lives of circus elephants are undeniably tragic, but that's true for many of the human performers as well. The history of circuses is long and storied and filled with gross violations of human rights. You've probably heard of people selling their kids to the circus, and that's actually a thing that happened frequently. People with disabilities or medical problems would be sold to circuses and forced to perform for crowds of spectators. Gawking at people who look different from us is something that's generally frowned upon in modern society, but for a shockingly long period of human history, it was perfectly acceptable. Freak shows were as profitable as they were degrading, and for the most part, their living conditions were deplorable. And let's not forget perhaps the most uncomfortable part of Dumbo, the crows. Most children probably didn't think anything of the cheerful and helpful group of crows we saw in the movie, but as an adult, the cringe is really strong. First of all, there's the fact that the main crow is named Jim Crow, named after racial segregation laws. This casts such a shameful pall over the movie that it's sort of baffling that they're honoring the film with a remake. Sure, there are a lot of things about Dumbo that we enjoyed as children, but looking back, the story is actually incredibly disturbing, and Disney's portrayal of it is offensive. Are we really so low on ideas for new movies that we have to remake stories about animal cruelty? What do you think about the movie Dumbo? Are you excited for the remake, or do you think reviving this film is in poor taste? Let us know what you think in the comment section, and then hit the subscribe button to get access to more videos from The Things. Bye for now.